Good morning or good afternoon. Time to start. I'm really honored to welcome you to this annual 2023 Annual Student Award Ceremony. It is this time of the year when we reflect on the previous year and recognize those most deserving and undergraduate and graduate students and instructors. Today, we celebrate their achievements, their successes, and their hard work in both academic and their research activities. For 3 years, we didn't have this ceremony. This is the first time after pandemic that we meet face-to-face finally, that we can share this wonderful event with our students and instructors and professors. In these 3 years, they made life-changing experiences. Our learning is not as it used to be. Our research is not as it used to be. We are bringing new and new modalities to how do we approach academic world. Some of our students face their own challenges, and they had to find new and innovative ways to adapt. And they did that. And this is the year where we recognize those students that they found these new innovative solutions to learning and to their research. And importantly, this celebration would not be possible without help of our donors. You are critical to our students' success. We are so thankful for your generous donations. I want personally to thank donors that are attending this ceremony, Bill and Lorna Glausinger for supporting School of Molecular Science Innovation Award, Mr. David Rasley, who is here on behalf of his brother, Brian Rasley. Brian is supporting the Ted Brown Scholarship, honoring the professor who turned around his love and devotion to chemistry. Isn't that wonderful? Mr. Martin Hudson Scholarship for Carbon Capture and Sustainable Energy. This is the word our community needs the most. And I'm so glad that we are on the frontier and having more students participated in these projects. I want to thank Scott and Barbara Dow for their valuable gift in instrumentation for our new laboratories that are coming online for general chemistry and biochemistry. They're going to better our students' learning how to handle the laboratory instrumentation and how to prepare for the future in industry. I want to give special thanks to Lisa Rubel-Brown and Brandon Cunningham for their constant support, continuing support and devotion to find matching donors with our School of Molecular Sciences program. Now, a few notes. Actually, the description of awards and recipients information will be presented and was presented on the slideshow, and the slideshow will be shared with you after the event. The event will be also recorded, and the video will be shared with you. After the ceremony, the winners should take a group photo. And I want to remind everyone to come on the stage after the ceremony is done. Also, after each award, please look at the camera because we will try to extract the still images from the videos. One more practical reminders, the bathrooms are located outside on the left, just outside the building. So now I want to introduce our Assistant Director for Undergraduate Studies, Professor Chad Borges. He will present undergraduate and graduate student awards. Please, Chad.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you, Tiana, for the introduction. It's great to see everybody here. So many people in one place. It's a nice change. We have a healthy number of scholarships and awards to present today, all to very deserving students, and it's my pleasure to be able to facilitate this process. So let's jump right in. We're going to start with our scholarship awards today. And the first scholarship that is going to be presented is the Martin Hudson Scholarship for Carbon Capture and Sustainable Energy. The winner of this year's award is Eric Doe. And at this time, I'd like to invite Mr. Martin Hudson up to the stage to assist presenting with this award, along with Professor Kevin Redding, to present this award to Eric. Congratulations, Eric.
All right, well, thanks for scheduling this so I could actually give this to Eric before I have to go teach. So Eric worked in my lab when we were in exile over in life science. It was a very difficult time. And he worked on a very difficult project expressing a protein involved in energy transduction. And the thing I remember about Eric is his overwhelming enthusiasm and persistence. He does not stop at all until he gets what he wants. So with that, I'm going to stop, but I'm looking forward to seeing what this young man does in the future. And I'd like to also thank Martin Hudson for providing the money for the scholarship. Thank you very much.
Thank you, gentlemen. The next scholarship is the George M. Bateman Memorial Scholarship. This year's winner is Robert Tobin, and he will be presented by Ian Weiss. Please make your way forward.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not just going to hand it to him and walk off. Okay. So, hi. So Robert is a chemistry freshman and an avid saxophonist, or at least he plays one in his Dungeons and Dragons games. Hailing from just across the Tempe Town Lake, a Phoenix native, he is a firm believer in paying it forwards. Robert was a joy to have in my 116 recitation, and with plans to continue his education on the way to being a nuclear engineer, I'm sure this will be just the first of many milestones that he powers through.
Yeah, which way? All right. That way, exit stage left. All right. Yeah, it's a little confusing to hold for a video still, not typical procedure. All right, the next scholarship is the Thorold Moeller Scholarship. This year's winner is Charlene Bernabe, and the presentation will be done by Professor Ian Gould. Please come on up.
Good afternoon. I'm taking the place of Laura, who's couldn't attend today. But I do know Charlene. She was in my class, a fantastic student in my class. Actually, this is the first time we met, right? Because it's over COVID. So I'm actually meeting several of my students for the first time due to COVID. Charlene this award is for a chemistry student who's looking towards a productive career in chemistry. Charlene has already been awarded, been recognized. She's a 2022 awardee of a Pfizer Air Diversity Research Fellowship, and she's using that fellowship to work in Laura's lab. She's putting trifluoromethyl groups and alkenes, right? It's a good pharmaceutical trick. They're using pharmaceuticals for lithophilicity. Charlene wants to contribute in research, either in academia, industry. She hasn't decided right now, and she's very deserving of this award. So Charlene, please, congratulations.
Very good. Our next scholarship is unfortunately to a person who was not able to attend today. This is the Wayne W. Luxinger Chemistry Scholarship. And unfortunately, the winner this year, Raphael Elang, was not able to attend. So we will go ahead and proceed with the next scholarship. The next one is John Holloway Undergraduate Scholarship. This year's winner is Ronald Johnson. And again, this will be presented by Professor Ian Gould.
Okay, Ron is a student currently in my class, an excellent student. Ron is a BS in chemistry. He wants to, again, contribute to research in chemistry. He's currently working with Scott Sayers. He's interested particularly in physical chemistry and geochemistry, how the earth works. Scott tells me he's super talented in the lab and he's doing really well in my class. He's working on high resolution spectroscopy of materials for catalysis determination. And I know, having spoken to Ron, I know that he's really interested in the details of how chemicals work at the atomic level. I'm super inspired by Ron. Ron, congratulations.
Right. Moving on to the Edward B. Skibo Memorial Scholarship. This year's winner is Charles Howell, and his award will be presented by Professor Everett Schock.
Hello, it's good to see you all. You're wondering, those of you who know me, why would Schock be up here talking about something that might have something to do with organic chemistry? But, well, it turns out that organic compounds are rampant throughout our solar system. It turns out that if you did an inventory of organic carbon in our solar system and you accidentally forgot to include the Earth, you would still get the right number. It's kind of disappointing to be so insignificant, but this is not insignificant. This is a great development. So Charles expressed interest in our experimental research where we try to understand how organic compounds behave in planetary settings, like those of the Earth and elsewhere. And we also try to learn from how things happen, how reactions actually occur in these natural systems to think about maybe there are clever ways of doing organic chemistry that aren't normally thought about. And that combination seems to have appealed to Charles, who started out helping out with experiments that are being done. One of the students in our project has a visual impairment, and Charles has been extremely helpful in helping her realize the experiments that she wants to do, but needs somebody to help make those happen. And that's been a tremendous contribution. And then Charles has had all sorts of ideas of his own about how these high temperature hot water systems might be involved in transforming plastics. And he's been designing experiments and conducting them and doing battles with various analytical methods and so forth. It's been impressive to watch, and it's a deeply deserved award. Congratulations.
All right. So the next scholarship is being awarded to another person who was not able to attend today. This is the Ted Brown Memorial Scholarship. And this scholarship this year goes to Jazeri Barney, who unfortunately wasn't able to be here. Next, we'll present our School of Molecular Sciences scholarships. There are two winners this year. Riley James, whose award will be presented by Professor Christina Burkle. And there was another winner, Solomon Leatherwood, who was unfortunately unable to attend this year.
Hello, everybody. It's my great pleasure to present this award to Riley. Riley conducts research in my group right now. She started working on the synthesis of inorganic solids, carbides. And then I almost had the impression she got a little bored, which doesn't mean our research is boring. It just means that she was ready to tackle some other compounds as well. So now she's also working with a second grad student in my group and is synthesizing some oxides. It's a pleasure to have her in the group, and we're all very proud of her. She's going to Germany again in the summer to conduct some research there as well. So aside from working with us, she's also enriching other groups internationally, which I find is really something to be extremely proud of. Riley, you deserve this. We're happy for you, and thank you for being part of our group.
Next, we have the SMS Women in Molecular Science Scholarships. There are 2 of these. And again, unfortunately, one of the scholarship winners was not able to attend. But our first winner is Amy Kai, whose scholarship will be presented by Professor Ian Gould. The other winner was Olivia Holman, who was not able to attend.
Okay, Amy is another student in my class this semester, doing really well. Amy has an interesting background. She was born in New York, then spent 5 years in China, right? Moved back to moved back to the US. So fluent in Mandarin and all other. And it was just really important, right, in helping your family communicate with medical professions. Amy does want to go to medical school. She's right now doing research at the U of A College of Medicine downtown on pulmonary hypertension. Gosh, you're going to see me one of these days, I'm sure. But Amy and I did talk about the meaning of this scholarship and how important it is. And we both, well, Amy, wants to be very clear that this is, disparity is a real issue. She wants to get her story out. And I think her story is important. Her story is inspiring. So thank you for taking on what you're doing, Amy, and congratulations.
Next, we have our SMS First Generation Scholarship. This year's winner is Natalie Ruiz Payan, who will again be presented by Professor Ian Gould.
They all take organic chemistry. Okay, so Natalie, another student in my class this semester. Delighted to have Natalie in my class. Natalie is a first generation student. We talk quite extensively about this. I'm also first generation. And we recognize that Natalie is taking on the responsibility of role model, both for her immediate and her extended family. And yet she takes on this burden. She works hard. She does well. She does really well in my class. She wants to go to med school as well. That's okay. We won't hold that against you. And Natalie's a super dedicated student. She's going to make a difference. She's exactly the kind of student that this scholarship is designed for. And I'm delighted that she got it. Natalie, congratulations.
The next scholarship is the SMS Veteran Scholarship, which is being awarded this year to someone who unfortunately was unable to attend, Matthias Santos Colorado Chuba. So we'll thank him for his service in absentia. Next, we have the Arizona Society for Coatings Technology Scholarship. This year's winner is Annalisa Storr, and the award will be presented by Professor Smitha Pillai.
Good afternoon. She doesn't go by Annalise. She goes by Elizabeth. That's what she liked to be called. She was in my organic chemistry course in fall, and I teach in Murdoch 101. And there has been times where I feel like the whole classroom is blurred and it's only me and her having a discussion, which is not good. But that's how the discussion is with her. And she comes to my office, sir, and she says, why are the other students not excited about it? Look, organic chemistry is everywhere. And I look at her, I'm like, exactly. I'm glad you say that. Congratulations, Aris.
Next, we have the Sachs Organic Achievement Award, which is going this year to someone who could not be here, Faith Yukana. Congratulations to Faith. The next award on, or excuse me, moving into the awards now. The first one on the list is the ACS Analytical Chemistry Undergraduate Award. This is presented to Lourdes Loera by Professor Pierre Herkes.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to present the award to Leo. She has been working in my lab for 1.5 years, 2 years, preparing an honor thesis on iodine and bromine in atmospheric particles, compounds we typically don't include in our studies, and we also don't look at their speciation. And now we know why. It's tricky. And it is challenging, but she overcome that. She did a really great job. And so she's a well-deserving recipient of the Analytical Award. And congratulations.
Next, we have the ACS, which I failed to mention before. That's the American Chemical Society Inorganic Chemistry Undergraduate Award. This year's winner is Elizabeth March, and the award will be presented by Professor Ryan Trovich.
Yeah, it's my pleasure to present Elizabeth March with this year's ACS Award in Inorganic Chemistry. As you might suspect, this award is really meant for a student who's demonstrated promise in the area of inorganic chemistry and would like to pursue a career in that area. But that wasn't always the case with Elizabeth. She is actually, I think, an environmental chemistry major. But we were able to find a project that kind of bridged the gap between the two. She's working on recycling plastics in my lab. And once she graduates, she's going to be heading off to Texas A&M this fall to pursue graduate school in inorganic chemistry. So I guess it rubbed off on her after all. Congrats.
Thank you.
Next, we have the ACS Organic Chemistry Undergraduate Award. This year's winner is Hyungji Lee, and Professor Ian Gould will be presenting this award.
Well, it's my pleasure to be able to award an organic chemistry award. Youngji was also in my class, unfortunately, over COVID. So again, although she was a spectacular performer, I'm actually meeting for the first time again today. This is so crazy. Youngji has always been an interest in chemistry. She has already decided to do a PhD in chemistry here at ASU. Congrats, good choice. Right now, she works in Kyle's lab on enzymatic catalysis. In fact, you guys just got a paper published, is that right? In ACS catalysis, good job. On enzyme catalyzed oxidative decarboxylation of indoles. So, Young G, I'm really delighted to meet you. You're clearly just doing exactly what we would like a successful chemistry student to do. I'm sure you're going to do great things in the future. Well done. Congratulations.
Next, we have the ACS Physical Chemistry Undergraduate Award. This year's winner is Jace Layfelt. And his research mentor, Professor Mark Hayes, was unable to make it here last minute. He was ill this morning, but I will fill in and provide some comments from Professor Hayes on his behalf. And by the way, this is fitting because Jace was in my analytical chemistry course a while back and did quite well. So congratulations. So this is on behalf of Professor Mark Hayes. So Professor Hayes met Jace as an undergraduate student in 2 laboratories that he taught. Jace later joined Professor Hayes' research group and was an active member on the pathogen detection project. Prior to attending ASU, Jace earned a GPA of 3.98 in high school and was a National Merit Scholarship finalist. And at ASU, he has earned a 4.0 GPA in Barrett, the Honors College. Research-wise, Jace has worked most closely on the Hayes Group's study to understand the biophysical properties of bacteria as a means of isolation and concentration. Under limited direction, he proposed and executed a bacterial viability study using several physical and chemical stress factors. This independence at an early stage of his career is indicative of his logic and reasoning and exploring alternative approaches to problems while looking at the project in its entirety. Jace has shown significant growth over a relatively short time that he has been working with the Hayes Research Group. He has asked thoughtful questions on the physical mechanisms of the microfluidic systems and demonstrated a strong willingness to learn new concepts and skills. He's quite reserved and thoughtful, and always thinks before he speaks, which is a great attribute. Without going into details, the work that the Hayes Laboratory has been incredibly dynamic over the last 24 months, and Jace has survived this very well and has in fact thrived. He recently gave an oral presentation to the entire extended research group on his contribution and did very well. Professor Hayes expects this work that Jace is pursuing to appear in a peer-reviewed manuscript later this spring or early summer, where he will be a contributing author. Well done, Jace. Congratulations. All right, our next award is the Distinguished Chemistry Merit Award. This year's winner is Lauren Harstad, and the award will be presented by Professor Ian Gould.
The Distinguished Chemistry Merit Award is given to a graduating senior who has adhered to the highest standards of scholarship throughout their entire undergraduate career, and that certainly applies to Lauren. Lauren came to ASU from New Mexico on a national merit scholarship from ASU. She's a giant overachiever, more than 4.0 GPA, all that kind of stuff. Previous winner of the SMS scholarship, previous winner of the Ed Skibo scholarship, and Lauren is a Goldwater scholar. Lauren started in SMS as a biochemistry major and saw the light switch to chemistry major because she likes organic chemistry and research so much. Lauren works in Kyle's lab, also on enzymatically catalyzed reactions, and is also a co-author with Hung Ji on the ACS catalysis paper. Congratulations on that. I've read it last night very quickly. It was very good. Lauren, although she was also my class advisor during COVID, I've met her many times since then because she's involved in everything SMS. SMS is certainly going to miss her. She is going to be going to Princeton in the fall to do graduate school, and she wants to do photo redox stuff, which was a favorite of mine in one of my former lives. So clearly, Lauren's highly deserving this award. Fantastic chemist. We're going to miss you, Lauren. Congratulations.
So following the Distinguished Chemistry Merit Award, we have the Distinguished Biochemistry Merit Award. This year's winner is Kyle Pullen and will be presented by Professor Ann Jones.
Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to give the Distinguished Biochemistry Graduating Senior Award to Kyle Pullen this afternoon. I met Kyle before COVID. And Kyle and Lauren, the previous recipient, were actually both in my class in fall of 2019 when they were freshmen. And I think what's remarkable about Kyle's story is Kyle had already overachieved before he was a freshman. He was a declared biochemistry major from the moment he arrived. He sat in the front row of my class from the first day. And to Smitha's comment earlier on, he was that student you were talking to in class. And those of you who've been in my class know I book out a really large conference room for my office hours because they're quite popular. And Kyle was always there. And I think my office hours were more popular because of Kyle than me. All the students wanted to ask Kyle questions so that they could pass my class. Kyle is an extremely overachieving student. He's a Flynn Scholar. He's a graduate here in the Valley of the Chaparral High School. He has been admitted to more medical schools than any of us can count. And he's the reason I'll keep going to doctors because I know that there are good students becoming doctors. So it's a real pleasure to have had a chance to see him grow during the last 4 years. And I think we can all be proud that Kyle is our distinguished graduating biochemistry student.
Next, we have a very special award, this year's SMS Dean's Medalist for spring of 2023. Our winner this year is Eva Chen, and this award will be presented by Professor Pullen Chu.
Okay, so it's my great pleasure to present Eva to you. And then I met Eva when she sit in my class, and we actually physically meet after COVID. So we have a lot of like discussion in the office hour and so on. She's currently in Nick's lab and then doing some novel DNA molecular design. And Nick always say she's the best undergraduate student he ever had. Also, Eva has just received the graduate admission from Columbia. And then she's super excited to be living in Manhattan. And I'm very confident that she will have an incredible, successful future career. And then in recognition of her understanding achievement, I believe that Eva absolutely deserves for the medalist award. Congratulations, Eva.
Very good. So next we would like to recognize a recipient of a very prestigious scholarship. This is the Barry Goldwater Scholarship. This is actually the most prestigious national award for STEM students. And ASU has a strong track record in this area. In the period of 2009 to 2022, there have been 29 ASU students who have received Goldwater scholarships. Of those, I'm proud to say 13 of them have been SMS students, which is pretty impressive for a single school or department. And this year's winner is Chloe Leff, and her scholarship will be presented by Rizal Hariati.
It is my pleasure to present Barry Goldwater Scholarship to Chloe Leff. And also it's a pleasure to listen to many accomplishments of our undergraduate students here from SMS. the good thing is that some of you or all of you take physics, so I benefit from your active participation in the class. So Chloe was a student in my physics 112, and like many opportunistic professors, I offer her position in my class, in my lab. And that was one of the best decisions that I've ever made. So Chloe has contributed to one talk, and I will deliver another talk next week. And then she has published one review paper in viruses, one accepted paper in frugal science in PLOS ONE, and in the revision paper in ACS Nano. She spent last summer in Germany and will be spending summer research at Mayo Clinic this summer. So Chloe is still junior, so I don't know what her plan is, whether medical school or grad school, but whatever things that she will decide to do, I'm sure she will be an innovator, leading scientist or engineers in whatever field, whatever thing that you decide. You deserve this award, Chloe. We're really proud of you. We're really excited by this award for you. All right, thank you.
All right, so that is the end of the undergraduate awards. We're going to go ahead and move directly into the graduate awards for this year. So these awards recognize outstanding graduate students in SMS who have performed very well in a variety of different areas. So the first award this year is the John Kakoyanakis Award, aka the COCO Award. This year's winner is Tai Pham and will be presented by Professor Jia Guo.
It is my great pleasure to present this award to Tai. So Tai joined my lab 4.5 years ago. At that time, my wife is very sick. So I'm basically working from the hospital. So at that time, I called Tai many times at the hospital to discuss experiments. And another thing for Tai is like at that time, there's the big gap for our graduate students in our lab. So Tai is basically the most junior and the most senior graduate students at the same time in our lab. But he is very brave to take the very exciting and high-risk projects to develop the multiplex protein imaging technologies for patient samples. So for all the other technologies in our field, so they work very well for mouse or animal tissue samples, but for patient samples, it has high autofluorescence background. So Tai developed various versions of the technologies to improve the signal to noise ratios. So Tai published 4 first author papers to document the technologies he developed, and the 5th paper is going to be submitted. He filed many patent applications, and all of the patent applications has already been licensed to the companies. And hopefully we will see the patients will benefit very soon from the technologies developed by Tai. So Tai, you deserve this very well. Congratulations.
Okay. Great, guys. Okay. All right, next we have the Leroy Eyring Memorial Fellowship in Chemistry. This year's winner is Diksha Satyabala, and unfortunately, her mentor couldn't make it. Professor Hao Yan wasn't able to be here today, so standing in will be Dr. Su Lin to present the award.
Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure for me to present here on behalf of Hao Yan. To give me a chance. I've been working with addiction with the same the DOE project for years. So I know her work more than Hao Yan. But anyway, Diksha is a graduate student. Her research is to build a extonic highway, to use the DNA to organize molecules so that the excitation energy can travel freely on a one dimension or two dimension, from nano scale to micro scale. And right now she already finished 2 projects with another senior graduate student at that time, and already have 2 papers published. And now she moved to use this light harvested by those extonic highway to do the photocatalysis. That I don't know much about that, but I have to say Diksha is a highly motivated and also hardworking graduate student, and you always get emails like a report, exciting result in the evening or weekends. That's a thing. Another thing is she is also very creative. You know, we have a laser, like $1 million laser. I trained her to do the laser work. At one time, she started a catalysis experiment by using like a few dollars light LED from Amazon. It's making me feel like a kind of sad. But anyway, Diksha has really deserved this award. Congratulations.
Next, we have the George Yuan Memorial Award. This year's winner is Alexandria Layton, and unfortunately, Professor Kevin Redding, who was going to present the award, has class right now. So I am going to provide a few comments on his behalf. How about if Alexandria, please come on up. So Alexandria started out as a talented undergraduate researcher in Professor Redding's lab, and then decided that she would like to stay on to do graduate work. So over the years, Professor Redding has watched her grow as a researcher and as a teaching assistant. In regard to the latter, Alex is very conscientious and has been Professor Redding's go-to TA when he teaches biochemistry, which is saying a lot, actually. She meets with students regularly and is always on top of what we are currently going over. She grades exams carefully and promptly, and she's always very good at catching any mistakes that Professor Redding makes, which is great. As a researcher, she is also very meticulous. She designs experiments rigorously with special attentions to controls. Oh, that's wonderful. Good to hear. Alex has taken on more and more challenging projects since she started, and now she's trying to build a new carbon dioxide fixation pathway in heliobacteria, and one that has never been seen before. Although it's a variation on an old pathway, she has replaced the key enzyme with another from a clostridial source that she came up with all on her own. It is truly her invention. Alex works more or less independently, but is very collaborative with the other members of the team. In other words, she has become a true scientist, and Professor Redding is very proud of you, Alex, and says you are truly deserving of this award. Right, so now we have our John Holloway Memorial Scholarship. This year's winner is Thuong Cao, and will be presented by Professor Pierre Herkes.
So it's a great honor for me to present the award to Thuong. So as an environmental chemist, often it's an award for an environmental chemist. John Holloway was a geochemist, so at the intersection of geology and chemistry. Thuong is working at the intersection of chemistry and biology. By tackling the issue of are there bugs in clouds and what are these microorganisms in clouds doing. It was an idea I had for a long time until I finally found Tuong. In Tuong, a student that was willing to tackle it because it involved a lot of work up front to familiarize themselves with biology, with microbiology, and then at the same time with atmospheric science, clouds and fogs. And then when she finally overcame that, then we sent her in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, to chase fogs, which are very difficult to predict. And the biggest certainty that we have is the second we start out to go there to look for fogs, there are none. So she spent a good 6 weeks in Pennsylvania all by herself, kind of in the middle of nowhere, waiting for fogs. And but luckily she got some, she got great data, and we're now going through analyzing this, and I'm sure we'll have a lot of interesting papers coming out. And yeah, with this, I think she's a very deserving recipient of the John Holloway Award. Congratulations, Strong.
All right, so now we're going to present our Outstanding Graduate Research Assistant Awards. The first one of these goes to Edgar Reyes Cruz and will be presented by Professor Gary Moore.
It's a pleasure to present this award to you, Edgar. Edgar's research involves efforts in synthetic chemistry, and he's been developing a new class of catalyst that allow breaking of what are called scaling relationships that govern the thermodynamic and kinetic performances. In addition to his efforts in synthesis, he's also been involved in pioneering physical measurement techniques that combine spectroscopic and electrochemical approaches for better understanding the mechanisms of catalysis, and in general, reactions that involve coupling of proton and electron transfer. Edgar, it's been a pleasure working with you, and I look forward to everything you're going to achieve here at ASU and beyond.
Our next Outstanding Graduate Research Assistant Award goes to Deandra Doppler, and this award will be presented by Petra Fromm on behalf of Professor Alexander Ross.
So first of all, I want to tell you that Alexander Ross is so proud of Deandra Doppler, but she can unfortunately not be here because she has a funeral in Germany, which she is attending this week. So Deandra is really an outstanding, absolutely outstanding graduate student. And I can say this for sure because I work a lot with her. Because she works with, and she is paid from actually our grant on femtosecond crystallography of membrane proteins and dynamics of it, since she started with her PhD in 2019. And her work is really outstanding because it is focused on developing new technology for sample injection, which would not waste 99.99% of the samples. It's heartbreaking. We often have to make hundreds of milligrams for these experiments at the free electron lasers. And you have only, you have to apply a year in advance to get maybe your 2 or 3 precious days at these free electron lasers because there are only 5 in the world and you can do only 1 experiment at a time. And the sample amount is so insane because these are pulsed sources and you can shoot each sample only once. That means you have 100 pulses or even 3,000 pulses per second, and you have to replenish the sample. And in between, you run it to waste. And so Deandra is really genius in developing new technology where we would embed the crystals in little droplets, water droplets, which run in oil, and then synchronizing them so that you would deliver a droplet only when the beam comes.
And so she has achieved more than 90% sample saving. And this is a life changer because when you have a very precious sample, you might not ever be able to do an XFEL experiment because you cannot make the amounts of samples. And she's not only involved in her own research, she also supports multiple people, including my group, with experiments at the free electron laser. That means traveling to the free electron laser. And I can just tell you the story that when we got the very first beam times, actually 3 beam times, in the fall 2020 at the free electron laser, in the only one in the US, the one in Stanford, we were the very first users allowed to be on site. But there was no vaccine at this time. Travel was dangerous. Doing experiments was dangerous. You had to get the vice president's approval from ASU to even travel. And she was the first one traveling with us. And instead of 50 people on the beam times, we were only 3. And the beamline scientists were so impressed with her that they said, "Oh, your postdoc, Deandra, is so great." And I said, "She's actually a second-year graduate student." "Oh, a graduate student, that's amazing." So, and these beam times are cool because they are often 12 hours, night shift, 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. And then she logged in the morning into her graduate classes to attend this. I don't know how much attention you could pay to these classes. So when I tell you how gruesome these beam times are, she supported 17 beam times, most of them during the COVID time, even traveling to Europe, which was even more crazy than traveling to Stanford during this time. In addition, doing her outstanding graduate work, developing her devices, and this is really amazing. And this was not only recognized by Alexandra and me and all the collaborators which benefit her helping with the experiment and doing all the sample delivery. She also was recognized already her first conference, BioXpert conference, just first year graduate student. She got already the Outstanding Poster Award. And the following year, she was invited to give an invited talk in her second year of her PhD studies. And when we had last year the John Spence Memorial Symposium here at ASU, where we invited scientists from all over the world, so leaders in the field, Deandra was the only graduate student giving an invited talk at this conference. So it was really amazing. She's an outstanding student. She has already published 5 papers. One more is under review, 2 more actually under review. And she is absolutely outstanding. And she also is very engaged in student affairs. So she is an GPSA assembly member and is also the GPSA YEDI committee chair. So really congratulate Deandra. I think I cannot think of any more deserving graduate students than her to receive this award.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
The next Outstanding Graduate Research Assistant Award goes to Hao Liu. And this award will be presented by our chair, Professor Tiana Reich.
It is my great pleasure to represent Peter Soth, and I have to tell you that he's really impressed with your work. He says that he's the most productive member of his group, and Peter's group is so productive that I can just imagine what does that mean. Hao started as a scientist working on the computer simulations of modeling the DNA nanotechnology systems. But he wasn't satisfied with that. He wanted to see that his models in the computer models are verified in the experiments. So he switched also and started to do experiments, especially in one very important area of strand replacement, which is a basis of DNA and RNA computing. Because of that work, he got 2 papers, one in Nature Chemistry, which is one of the highest impact papers in chemistry, and 2 that are still under review. He was not in, this was not enough for Hao. he also wanted to try something that is so challenging. He wanted to realize pyrochlorolattice, something that has never been realized on nanoscale. The reason for that is because it's a cubic structure, but very hollow. So it has a really bright future for the ion transport or for optoelectronics or nuclear waste storage, you can name it. So he worked on that, and he mainly on his own applied abundant number of techniques to try to realize that. And because of this work, he brought a further funding to ASU and secured this project future. What Peter Schultz have said is one cannot ask for more from a graduate student. The price cannot be more deserved. I look forward to your future endeavors.
The next Outstanding Graduate Research Assistant Award goes to Ariel Owens and will be presented by Professor Wade Van Horn.
I'm thrilled to present this award to Ariel. She's an outstanding graduate student, as implied in the name of the award. She's been in my lab now for a while and has done awesome things. So she's a very strong NMR spectroscopist that's helped to understand some very fundamental things about important membrane proteins in you and I, to the extent that she's helped to recognize a new estrogen receptor that has real implications in women's health and other kinds of things. Her research efforts have been recognized with publications, training grants. She was recognized with an award at the Protein Society meeting last year. Beyond her excellence in research, she also is very involved, beyond that. She's won a handful of teaching awards here at ASU and beyond. She helped establish interdisciplinary graduate society, I guess, or club, CABS, for both folks in chemistry and biology, which is really at the heart of what she does, is kind of real thermodynamics research, NMR applied to very important biological problems. And she's done an excellent job. So I'm thrilled to present this award to her.
Our final Outstanding Graduate Research Assistant Award goes to Laura Bonatti and will be presented by Benjamin Brugman on behalf of Alex Nabratsky.
All right, I'm very honored to present this award to Laura. She came to ASU all the way from Brazil. She did her bachelor's degree in materials engineering, and now she is a PhD student in chemistry. Her work is on the thermodynamics, primarily of very small samples on the order of submicrograms. These are basically pieces of dust that I can't even see, and she manages to weigh them and move them around from lab to lab and get rigorous calorimetric data out of them, which is in itself an achievement. We will now be able to understand the thermodynamics of materials that we had not been able to previously measure, such as rare accessory phases in meteorite samples, materials quenched from high pressure, and any other material that has previously been too small to get calorimetry on. So this work is currently in revisions with Review of Scientific Instruments. It's a huge success for her that she was basically able to trick this fast scanning calorimeter into giving us this data. And it says a lot about her expertise as a calorimetrist and as a chemist. So congratulations, Laura, you've definitely earned this. There we go. On the way.
Yeah, it's hard to remember to take a picture. Push here. Oh, there we go. All right. It's helpful to have notes on stage. So we're going to move on next to the SMS Innovation Award. This year's winner is Cody Wayrick and is going to be presented by Professor Timothy Long. And to participate in presenting this award, I would like to invite to the stage someone very special, a former chair of SMS back when it was the Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry, Professor Bill Glounsinger. I'd like to invite him up to the stage. Hopefully he can make his way up here. We are very appreciative to he and his wife Lorna's generous sponsorship of this award. Congratulations.
Okay, well, what a thrill for Cody. Congratulations, Cody. I also want to thank our donor, right? Some of these awards are definitely not possible without that. So we really appreciate that. And I also want to give a nice welcoming to Cody's family, his parents who came all the way from North Carolina. Thank you for coming. So let me tell you a little bit about, well, first I should probably launch those 50 PowerPoint slides. Is there a chance that we can get someone? Okay. I want to tell you a little bit about Cody's path to ASU. Cody started out at the University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill. And then he found his way to Virginia Tech, where I was on the faculty of Virginia Tech for about 20 years. And then he had this fateful moment, right? When I came into a conference room and I said, Cody, we're moving to Arizona State University, right? And he's like, oh my God, right? So a few years later, he came with me to Phoenix. I call him one of the gnarly nine because he's truly a modern day explorer, right? He packed his bags and headed west, right? It was a pretty excited thing. He defended his PhD on Friday successfully. So that was a good thing, right? Yeah. Good job. And now he has a position going to a small university called Duke University. And he's going to be doing a postdoc position there with Matt Becker doing 3D printing of biomedical devices there at Duke. So during his research time with me, he pioneered so many different areas. I mean, he emerged to be a leader of my research group. He very easily could take my place at any moment, Cody, right? Truly stellar. He worked on the highest performance engineering polymers, polyimides that are known. They have the highest thermal resistance of any material. These are things that literally go into space, right? That go to Mars. And he puts these all in three-dimensional shapes, right? Geometrically controlled objects at the micron scale resolution, all 3D printed in very unprecedented ways. And I'd be willing to say he's the only person in the world who's doing that, right? So it's really spectacular. He spent an internship at Facebook, which is as different from a chemistry lab as you can imagine. And he also went on to publish about 6 papers. His biggest and most recent accomplishment, which I think speaks to this award, is he won the Sky Song Innovation first place pitch competition for the entire university this year. So I think that speaks for itself. He's launching a company now called Precise Polymer, and he's going to be taking next generation materials and putting them into three-dimensional shapes. So look out, you're going to hear a lot about Cody in the future. So congratulations, Cody, right? Okay, yeah. The check is in here somewhere. Okay.
All right, we're going to move into a different phase of our awards ceremony now. I'd like to ask Director Professor Tiana Rice to come back up, and she will present the teaching awards.
Thank you, Chad. So now is the time for Distinguished Teaching Awards. And as I read your name, please come to the stage. Lisa Araham, Kyle Browder, Saborni Chudari, Kanchana Chandrak Kantan, Banashri Gogoi, John Jamboret, Kristen Tripp, Samuel Peoples, Harrison Smith, Rose Snyder, and Joanna Vandenbrand. Thank you so much for your distinguished work. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Thank you. Sorry. Definitely not happening. Thank you so much for your contribution. Okay. So next, I invite Professor Borges to present Instructional Service Awards.
All right, we actually have a set of 3 winners for this year's Instructional Service Award. They are Shelley Hauk, Tim Lamb, and Stacy Sendler. If you could make your way forward, I have a few comments prepared. So this Instructional Service Award, this award recognizes individuals who routinely exceed expectations of their appointment through significant contributions to the teaching mission of the School of Molecular Sciences in administration, curriculum development, peer mentoring, and leadership. This is the first year for this award, and we really couldn't think of any other better set of individuals than Stacy, Tim, and Shelley. They are leaders of our team of instructors. They help supervise and mentor more junior members of our instructional team. They collaborate closely with other faculty and staff on recitations, lab, and lecture curricula, and routinely volunteer to assist with numerous other important aspects of our general chemistry program that significantly improve its quality and contribute to its overall student success. In addition, all 3 maintain substantial teaching loads and efforts that are lauded by both students and their colleagues. Their teaching activities run the gamut of instructional styles, but lean mostly towards active learning modalities, which tend to be more enjoyable for students and provide better learning outcomes than traditional instruction methods. Of course, these modalities, they tend to be more challenging for faculty to develop and for them to implement, which really is a testament to the willingness of these 3 individuals here to go the extra mile and ensure student success, which is a core and critical value of the School of Molecular Sciences. Congratulations, Shelley, Stacy, and Tim.
The next will be Distinguished Instructor Award presented by Professor Borges.
So this year's winner of the Distinguished Instructor Award goes to Shika Manchanda. Please come on up, Shika. I have a few comments to read for you. So this Distinguished Instructor Award recognizes the highest performing individuals from our instructor team. And this year's winner, of course, is Shika Manchanda. She's been a critical part of the SMS instructor team for about 10 years now, since 2013. She has served in teaching roles, administrative roles, and mentoring roles. And regardless of the task that she is given, she always rises to the challenge and does so professionally and congenially. As a mentor to new instructors, Shika doesn't just correct mistakes. Instead, she spends time with her mentees and anticipates difficulties that new instructors will have and provides them with resources to navigate a lot of the new challenges that they face successfully. When it comes to working with students, Shika's patient, respectful, and clear, and often goes above and beyond nominal expectations to help them, including during times when she may not normally be scheduled to work. I don't know how that is. Her efforts in this regard are often reflected in positive evaluations from students. In short, she's an invaluable member of our team and very much deserving of this award. Congratulations, Shika.
The next award is the award from Student Association of American Chemical Society Teaching Award. I'm inviting the representative from Student Association. Oh, please come and present the award.
So we want to invite Dr. Smitha Pillai to come up. So a few comments. So Dr. Pillai is an incredible professor that wants to see each and every one of her students be successful. She believes in them and helps guide and support them throughout their journey at Arizona State University. She's a pleasure to be around and truly cares for each of her students' desires and goals and to be successful. So we're so thankful for the opportunity to have her in our SMS community and be able to recognize her with the DMSO on behalf of SAC and her students that she impacts every day.
So this concludes our 2023 annual award ceremony. Thank you for attending the seminar, the ceremony, and congratulations to all the recipients of the awards. And we please, all the winners should come at the stage to take the group photo. In the meantime, as the winners are coming on the stage, I want to thank the people that made this possible. I want to thank Mary Zhu, who prepared all this ceremony but could not attend today. Julie Sadet, that executed these presentations. Edgar Escalante for IT support. Lauren Schellenberger, Nicole Gunning, and all advising team for helping organize this wonderful event. Thank you all. Please, all the winners should join the stage to take a group